Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. What we have here is a bona fide winter wonderland. It snowed fat, fluffy, wet flakes last night, and when we woke up we had about 3 inches on the ground and there was no wind, so it stuck onto everything. It's just beautiful. This is another one of the reasons I love living in the country, because in the city when it snows like this, immediately it gets pushed aside, it gets all dirty and yucky looking, but here it stays nice and white and clean. Everything looks new again. And things that look familiar in the summer without snow on them, when they get snow on them, they're completely different things. It's like my world changed completely, and the things that I normally recognize easily, well, they look a lot different now. Pretty darn cool. Even my old junk looks new with a fresh coat of snow on it. Hiya, ladies. How are you doing? 2105, I know you're the friendly one. There you go. 2103. Give me a sniff. You got some food hanging out of your mouth. Don't chew on me. You're a goof. You got some snow plopped on your head. It's already starting to come down off the trees. Oh, I wanted to get out here before the wind starts blowing. You can see it's already starting to come off. This won't last long once the wind picks up. I see the weather station's working just fine. My horse and rider weather vane up there, well, he's covered too. I hope he warms up. You can hear the snowplow coming in the distance. He's coming down the road. Can you find the cows? They're back in there, all standing out in the snow. Sometimes, you know, you just need a fresh outlook on the world, and nature gives that to us. Most of the cows are hanging out in the barn today, chewing their cuds. Yeah. The weather has been difficult here. You know, we're not below in precipitation. It's just been rain instead of snow. So everything is incredibly wet. It's wet, right, Orden? Hi, Tulip. Little porkers are all laying in their bed way back there. Hey, guys. You're not going to come see me today, are you? Well, I'll come see you then. Pigs make a nest and they lay in it, don't they? Chickens can come outside if they want, but as you can see, they're a little bit hesitant this morning. When it snows, usually Hillary will come out and shovel a little bit in front of the ramp so they kind of know there's safe ground underneath there and the snow's not 3 feet deep. Chickens are funny that way. Let's see how these guys are doing. Eating their breakfast. Hillary and I got to take the truck out this morning. Yep. Yeah. No, really? On Just a Few Acres Farm today? He's cleaning off his truck? I'm glued to the screen. Wow, can't get this on regular TV. Here we go. Well, you gotta clean out the back of the truck too. And it's gonna beep at me because the cameras are blocked. Yeah. Gotta put out the old man step. Old man step. Well, let's see. We gotta go in here to this. This here is our scrap and garbage pile. Stuff to go to the scrap yard and to the dump. Except for that sickle bar mower, and there's a set of 2-bottom plows for the Super C over there. We clean this out a couple times a year. That's scrap. So today we're going to the scrap yard, and then later this week we'll go to the dump and clear all this out. Oh, gold's up again anyway. Ah, that's it from the barn. Well, get out of there. And then some stuff out of my workshop, mostly the byproducts of redoing a tractor, which is 2 buckets full of bearings and seals and pistons and sleeves and, you know, it's all junk. Here we are, loaded up in tarp, just like the Jodes going to California. And we're off to the scrap yard. Right, Hill? Yep, scrap yard, scrap yard.
Thanks for plowing the driveway so I can get out.
You can get out!
My car is low, that's the problem.
I should have had the kids shovel the driveway before they went to school.
We should have, you know?
Yeah, put them to work. Country roads are also beautiful in this new snow. Everything is white, except for the red barns. Do you think it's just chance that Lick Street and Salt Road are right next to each other?
Yeah, it's just coincidence.
Here we are at the Metal Mountains. I had to go on the scale and weigh up first. Look at all the metal. They got stuff all over here. Fencing wire, how about that? Never would have guessed. And then back over the scales. $36.47. Probably most of that was the Super C radiator, which I took back as copper. I asked her if they took snow because I had some I'd sell them, but she said no.
You did not.
I did.
Oh my goodness.
We got another errand to run while we're out. We're going to the neighboring big city, Portland, to get a treat for the cows. It's a big city, right? Here's a big dairy. Lots of smaller buildings, but up and back, big cow barns. Ah, Cortland. Country Max. This is what we want. He smells very good. I love that taste. Here you go, guys. They're interested in it. They've never had this before, so I think they're trying to figure out what it is. It's delicious. It's just molasses. That's all it is. It's pure molasses, which is either made from sugar cane or sugar beets. And it's a traditional hay stretcher. And by hay stretcher, I mean in years when you had really poor hay crops and you had to feed out of the back of the barn, or you wound up feeding straw, or things like baled corn stalks, baled dry corn stalks, needed a hay stretcher to make that food more palatable to the cattle. They can still digest the cellulose and all those things, but they don't like to eat it as much. And so this bale is one I bought the year before last. It wasn't the greatest hay to begin with, and after sitting for 2 years, the cows pass it over. Our cows are picky compared especially to what's on the other side, which is a nice green bale baled just this last summer. So this, although it says deer bait on it, it's just molasses, and I cut it half and half with water and poured it into the bale. It'll soak in there and the cows will eat it up. And since it's sugar, it's just carbohydrates, but it'll make them eat up this hay because it tastes like molasses. It's an old-time trick. The idea is that you pour it on top of the bale when the bale's standing on end like this, and it soaks down through the bale and soaks into all the hay. When I was a kid, it was real common on dairies around us to have a molasses lick, which was usually a tank of molasses with a wheel on the top of it, and the cows would lick at the wheel and get the molasses residue off the wheel, or it was mixed in to their hay or other feed because of the energy that's in molasses. You go looking around for it these days, and I went looking around for it, and you can buy liquid feed for cattle, which is molasses combined with other things. It's added into a total mixed ration TMR program for dairies. I could not find a place where I could just go and buy a 55-gallon drum of it, which is unfortunate. I think I can get them online, but the days are just gone when you could go down to the local feed store and get anything you needed. World's changed, but I have less than 10 of these old bales, and I'd like to get them out of the barn, mix them in with feeding good stuff, and I figured this was one way to get the cows to eat them. I put on a very small amount. I put on 1 gallon, which is, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 pounds, and this is a 700 or 800 pound bale. You can go up to 70 pounds or 10% of the bale weight with molasses, and there's no ill effects to the cows. It's just like Christmas morning for them, lots of candy to eat. I'm waiting for a very important delivery. Aha! It's here. Well, there's more than one. I don't know what this stuff is. This is something that I desperately needed. Well, maybe not desperately with this weather, but if it gets colder, I'll desperately need it. Well, how does this open? I just can't. There we go. I desperately need this too before I go up into the cold upper barn. I do. Glow plugs for Pete. Cowtails. We gotta hoof it up here to the upper barn. Oh. Hi ladies. Oh, this here is my Farmall 656 diesel. And it's a glow plug diesel, which means in every cylinder here, see these guys here? These are glow plugs, which are just rods that stick down into the pre-combustion chamber, and they glow red hot, warm it up, so the tractor can start in cold weather. Actually, for this tractor with this International D282 engine in it, you need glow plugs even if it's 80 degrees out to get her started. It's just a function of the engine. Hey, not you. You. I have 2 batteries hooked up to this engine. I've got a Group 31 truck battery, and then I have what fits in front here. And I think they both add up to at least 1,500 amps of cranking power. So this sucker turns over really fast. Glow plugs light up really fast. I use Diesel RX glow plugs, which are a lot faster than the old factory glow plugs. You don't have to lean on the switch for 60 seconds plus to get them to glow. They only need about 15 seconds or so, but they haven't been warming up as fast as they used to, and I went through and checked them, and the glow plugs are fine, I believe, just using a continuity test. It's the switch that is the problem. So in order to get it to switch, I got to take this cover off here, which is 6 bolts. No big deal. Oh, here we go. You got a whole mess of wires here. That's the glow plug switch. Right down there, you can barely see it. And there's the other side of the switch right there. We got to detach it from this side. It unscrews. What's going on here? I guess you require 2 hands. Here's the glow plug switch. It's just a momentary push button switch. It's connected straight to battery power. It doesn't matter whether the key's on or off, this thing will work. So we're just going to be careful with these live wires and put the new one in. This switch is probably as old as the tractor. A lot of current runs through there. Now we have the new switch. We'll give her a test here. Watch that glow plug meter, which measures current flow to the glow plugs. She's alive. And this one gets a rubber cap to protect it from the weather. That's fancy. Let's see what happens. It's about 28 degrees Fahrenheit today, which equates to 1262 degrees Celsius. So we'll give her a 15-minute glow plug. 15 seconds, I mean. Minutes, seconds. That's pretty normal. Usually she takes 2 pops at this temperature. 1001, 1002. Now we got to deal with this though. The fan is hitting the top of the shroud right up here, making that little ticking sound. Annoying. And the reason it ticks is because I had to put a new reman alternator on it, because the alternator seized up, smoked the belt. That's how I know it seized up, because there was smoke coming out of the front, burning belt. And I figured while I was in there I should replace the fan belt. When you adjust this all the way up, the fan actually tightens the belt by just raising the fan up. The water pump's not directly connected to it. It'll hit the top of the shroud. So what I got to do here, and I can barely see it, much less you, is loosen the adjusting bolt on the fan, let the fan drop just like 1/8 of an inch. Loosen the belt just a touch that way so it doesn't hit. If we loosen it too much and it falls all the way down, then I gotta put the pry bar in and mess with it, which I'd like to avoid. Just a smidgen. You don't want to come down at all, do you? Well, I gotta loosen up the other side. That's the problem. And wouldn't you know, of course I went too far. Now I got to pry the fan back up with this bar. It's not real easy. Got to get it in here just right. Well, I never. All right. Hopefully that fixed the problem. Let's check. No tick tick now. Sounds good. It's good to have her running the way she should now. I gotta clean out bedding packs as soon as the weather cooperates. Patty's calf is nursing. Everybody else is hanging out. One guy's eating here. But I can smell the molasses as soon as I come in the barn here. You little guy, you're scared of me. Takes cows time to get used to something, just the same way as if you put grain in front of them. They don't eat it right away if they've never had it before, and they're going to take a while, I think, to figure out what this is, and that's okay. We got the other side to feed some good hay from, and we'll let them get a little hungry and see if they eat this. You know, like I always say, cows got to eat their ice cream and their potatoes. The good stuff and the not so good stuff. Anyway, that's my day for today. I'm gonna do my afternoon chores and then I'm going in the house to sit by the fire. I hope you have a good day and I'll see you next time. Oh, jeez. I guess tomorrow I'm going to have to put chains on the 656. 'Tis that time of year. They got the idea. They're all lined up eating it now where I spread it out for them.